Hey everyone, this is Sal from Geek.com, and I'm here with the Toshiba X505. It's a 18.4-inch laptop built for gaming and media consumption, and it's a little bit different from what we normally look at, the Alienwares and whatnot. But I did want to take a quick look at it for everyone. So as you can see, it's a big laptop. It's built like a gamer laptop. With the red and the gloss. It's definitely a consumer laptop. There's no question about that as far as the build goes. And yeah, not specifically for gaming, but it's definitely a capable gaming computer. So opening it up, we could see there is that big panel. Try to avoid my messy desk there. And then number pad, full keyboard, and the whole thing. Big speakers up in the corner and all that. Just really quickly, we'll run through the specifications. This thing runs an Intel Core i7 720QM processor with 6 gigabytes of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTS 360M graphics with 1 gigabyte of video RAM, and then it has a 1920 by 1080 display, and it has a 500 gigabyte hard drive for storage and a 64 gigabyte SSD for boot. It's sold for about $1,800. This is the model is called the X505-Q880. There are cheaper models if you want to save a little bit of money. You could drop the you don't get the SSD, or maybe a little bit less storage, but they all have the 360M graphics. So just looking at the computer here, see if we can do a quick look. Nice number pad built in. There's that Harman Kardon speaker. There's more where that came from. It's okay build quality wise. It's very plasticky. So whereas like an Alienware M15X or M17X has all that great metal hardware, this one you're getting all plastic. But the trade-off is you get really nice components. So you're getting relatively high-end graphics. You're getting an SSD built in at the $1,800 price point, which is nice. So build quality-wise, this thing is not super. But, it's really too big to move around much, so it may not be a big factor. Moving in right there, we have probably my number one annoyance with the computer. Right to the left of the keyboard, you have a touch-sensitive panel right here. So I was trying to play games, and I would you have your WASD right here, and then maybe you'd move your hand over a little bit, and all of a sudden you'd touch it, and it would just activate. Pull you out of your game or something like that. You can see I just brushed it right there. I didn't even press the power button, and the system is booting. We could zoom out and watch it boot. Should go pretty quickly because it's running off the 64 gigabyte SSD. Yeah. So keyboard is not super. I think they could have done better. It is backlit though, which is nice, and you do have the number pad. The sound is good. The display is, I would say, it's average. It's nice that it's nice and large. You have that 18.4 inches, which is a lot of space, and then 1920 by 1080 is really cool. And this thing could push most games at full screen, which is nice. Just really quickly, we don't have to go into Windows. Gloss outside, as you can clearly see, is sort of a pattern here. That's the power connector right there, that big quad tip thing. Then we have VGA, USB, mic headphone. Nothing along the front. This is like a 10-pound system, so it's actually not even that easy to do this. Anyway, here we have our expansion slot. Under that is a Blu-ray. So at about $1,800 or $1,850, depending on where you buy it, not only do you have everything I mentioned before, but you have standard Blu-ray. Then you have 1394, then yours HDMI. There's DisplayPort, but it's covered up, so no DisplayPort, unfortunately. There's USB, that's eSATA. It might be eSATA plus USB. Yeah, it is. And then we have, finally, Ethernet. There's nothing on the back except for some venting. On the bottom, it's not a whole lot to see except for right here, which is a giant battery. And the first time I got the system, the first test system I got, the battery, the piece that holds the battery in, these little plastic tabs, had broken off. So I'd be careful about transporting this, which was definitely damaged in shipment. And then the final thing I wanted to show is this right here. This is the power brick. This is basically as big as they get. It's maybe a little bit. It's a little bit wider and about the size of the one for an Xbox 360, if you're familiar with that. So yeah, it is not small. So if you're carrying, you wanted to move this system around, either you could deal with just the computer by itself, which means you have maybe 2 hours of battery life, maybe 2.5, or you could try to take this with you, which means you're lugging around, I don't know, like 12 or 13 pounds of stuff. There's that funky connection again. Definitely not your standard power connection. It's probably a high voltage. I didn't even look. Anyway, this is the Toshiba X505. I'm going to be posting a couple benchmarks on the YouTube channel, mainly Modern Warfare 2 and then Crisis and some other stuff. So, yeah, thanks for watching. This is Sal from Geek.com.